just pushes you, right? So not sometimes being out of your comfort zone, it's honestly it's a little stressful, but it's great. It's great because my life has completely changed the person who I am.
Welcome to Detox with Dina and Friends. I'm your host, Dina Theodora, singer, songwriter, and actor. My aim for this podcast is to empower, motivate, and inspire you. Thank you to Vasanti Cosmetics for sponsoring this episode. Head over to vasanticosmetics.ca for luxury, high-performance cosmetics and skincare. Make sure to use promo code DINA10 for 10% off all online products. Welcome, Vanessa! Yes, I'm so
nice
happy to
see
have
you.
you. And I'm so excited for today. We've been talking about this, and now here we are.
I know.
And you are going to be talking about entrepreneurship and finance. Let's just get a brief background about who you are, how this whole journey started with the finance, with all of the entrepreneurship, and all about yourself.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for inviting me to your show. I love everything that is related to women for women. I think that especially in Toronto, that's what it's needed. So I love that you're making the difference. So a little bit about me. I'm originally from Venezuela. Immigrated on my own at the age of 17, and honestly I think like that's a huge part of my success when it comes to my mentality, because when you really are on your own at such a young age, it really like makes you being out of your comfort zone. So I think that that's a little bit about me, that how I started. Of course I had my own career, but then I have always been very inspired on create opportunities, not only for myself and for money, but also to help others. And that's how I actually became a financial advisor, and I opened up multiple businesses. I started out to help my parents, but now I'm actually helping newcomers to Canada. It's a social enterprise.
Beautiful.
And then I have like on the side other startups that I have like been able to create through my modeling.
I love that. And just that you came so far at 17, and what was it? What did you said that initiated you to just make that move at 17?
My intuition, like for real. Like it's all about your intuition. Of course, back home at that time, it wasn't as critical as it is right now. But something when I came here, I saw the opportunity. I saw the people. I felt that I was able to create a life that I wanted to create if I work hard.
Yes.
And I have always been very social, so I know like networking is part of our own life, right? So I think like it was like my own intuition that it helps me out, and then of course like talking about it with my family and everything. But
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So you came by yourself.
Yeah.
And
So
your family, where were they?
so I came sponsored by the Rotary International program.
Oh, Rotary.
Yeah,
Oh.
my dad has been a president back home at that time, so they sponsored me here. For the first year, they have the Rotary Youth Exchange program, and I was located in Oakville for the first year. And then after, it was actually a Rotarian who helped me to stay here. And 7 years later, on my own, I decided to bring my parents.
What an amazing story. You are an inspiration, darling Vanessa. So just in getting our viewers and listeners a bit of background, what are the key factors to your success within your entrepreneurship, within the finance?
Well, it takes a lot of personal behaviors in order to succeed, really. That I think like it's been more the personal work that I have done on myself than any external. The external will come if you're okay within yourself.
Yes.
Number one, your attitude. You have to be absolutely positive. Being able to accommodate and adapt to different environments. As an immigrant, I can speak for myself because I have to adapt to even a new culture, a new language, to even being able to talk in English right now. It's been...
You are amazing.
Yeah, it's been a journey. So I think like being adaptable, it's key. Now, of course, like if you want to immigrate, but in this case, if you want to start your business, it will help you a lot. Like it will take you further than you think.
That is amazing. And so just the fact that you had that in you to just push yourself and go beyond, what you thought you could possibly achieve.
100%.
What does having a good money mindset mean to you?
I think it comes from working on specific daily behaviors that will help you to guide yourself. I think like for me, I created my own philosophy, my own mantra. Number one, knowing why am I doing something. If you don't know your why, then how you're gonna guide yourself, your decisions, right? So knowing your why, knowing where your money is going and why it's going there.
Yes.
You know, even if from the smallest steps, I think that from there it just helps you to have like a better mindset and not a consumer mindset. Especially never spend more than what you earn, basically. I know that sounds very cliche, but
Yes.
it is so important, especially with the new generation coming into young adults. I think like I see so much on social media, and I think some people get loose on what it is out there and they don't get realistic to their own goals. So I think like setting realistic goals and short term and long term will of course help you guide you.
That is beautiful. And knowing exactly, like you said, what's keeping track of everything, really. In terms of your personal finance, what's something that you can mention that really helped you personally along the way?
I think besides it's my career now, of course I have to study and get my licenses and everything. I think really having at least general knowledge, like we cannot just leave everything to a bank or to a financial advisor. We need to have some sort of a control of our own finance, and of course like having a good idea of where are you directing your savings, create your retirement plan. I cannot stress that enough. And then from there you can actually work on investments, because I see a lot of people working on, I want to invest, and they haven't even saved, right? So
Yes.
so it's a lot of like, it is a process that you have to follow, and those are my 3 steps: savings, retirement, and then investment.
What would you say specifically for retirement would really help, just to start with that? Because a lot of people are so confused. They don't start at all.
Yeah, I know. And I think that's a separate conversation that I could talk hours about it, because I think that a lot of people take for granted that we are gonna get older, where we're not gonna have the same energy to work, and one day we're gonna die. So that's something that we have for sure. So I think that trusting that there are companies like insurance companies that also like provide you retirement plans, it is very important for people to acknowledge that and to trust that, because there's been a lot of like, I found that a lot of people don't trust. I don't know why, but I think that if you really learn what is each company meant for, like banks are meant for like savings, loans, insurance more for retirement, like for and then investments is on a separate.
What did you specialize in within the finance world when you studied?
For insurance, life insurance and medical insurance.
Yes.
And mutual funds.
Wow.
Now, so that's more like into like investments. And of course, like now as an entrepreneur, I think that I can relate so much to business owners, so it helps me to relate a lot into like the corporate like finance.
I love it. And like you said, investments are great, but what happens to people that just from a young age, they don't know how to retire? And,
Yes.
Let's say they are maybe not working full time, or they're not doing a corporate job, or it's not even something steady.
Yeah.
How could you kind of help someone that is not really in a steady?
Yeah, well, I think, and again, I can speak that from this sector that I come from, that is the immigrant sector, and I can see a lot of those examples is knowing, number one, that at least like 50% of your whatever you make, from whatever you make, it goes to like your bills. At least you have to put 20% or 30% away for your savings, and then like the rest of the percentage is gonna go for the rest, whether you want to like then use that for your retirement, then use that for your investment. But I think that will be a healthy.
I like the percentage that you mentioned. It's something that I find like right now, for example, there's a lot of people struggling just with the pandemic too.
Mm-hmm.
What do you recommend for people that really just don't even have enough money to save at this point?
I know. I think that number one, it really depends on who they are and what's their situation, but it's always good to be realistic to their goals. For instance, like if you are renting a very expensive place and that goes just beyond what you can save, maybe like why don't you rent a cheaper place or find a roommate, and or that's what. And another part is finding different income streams. Like I honestly think we're in 2021. as females, I get so I don't get judged, but so many people does give me comments about me doing so many things. But I mean, like, you need some different income streams.
Good for you. And
you
that's
know?
the thing. I actually heard that, that you need a multiple income stream to have that capability, because
Yes.
it's like putting all the eggs in the one basket, right?
100%. You need multiple income streams. I think like no one should feel ashamed to do multiple things.
For example, we're going to get to that. What would you say are your multiple, if you want to mention, in ways that you are leveling up your finances?
Well, some of them, besides that I'm focusing on my business and of course like my career, that's already 2 of them over there.
Yes.
A lot of the things that I do on the side, I turn it as a startup. So for instance, I do during the summer boat rental. So that's a startup right now, but that's definitely an income stream that I use to invest on stocks and crypto. So that's how like I even multiply then, later on, like but I allocate every income stream to
Yes.
different purposes, right? Like
Yes.
one specific that is gonna go to like my bills, another specific is gonna go to my retirement plan, another specific is gonna go to like investments and so on.
Yes. And what would be some advice that, women entrepreneurs and women getting into finance, for example, to advise them based on how you got into it? And
I think number 1, be always curious. You have to be curious. For me, I honestly got into this lifestyle because bringing my parents here and being the household of my family, it just pushes you, right? So not sometimes, being out of your comfort zone, it's honestly, it's a little stressful, but it's great. It's great because my life has completely changed. The person who I am today, I'm not the same one as 2 years ago. So I'm very thankful to have that motto that motivates me.
it's to step outside the comfort, right?
Yeah. So step out of your comfort zone with no fear, because what's the worst that can happen? That you start all over again. I don't know. I think like the only thing that I will fear, and not even, is death. So I think like this life is to make it count.
That's it. Very well said, Vanessa. In terms of starting a business, somebody, getting involved in starting something like, what you were saying, you're starting a career, you're starting your own business. Can you talk to me a bit about starting your own business and how to go about that?
Yes. So I started my very first business is Cleaning to the T. It was actually it's a cleaning business. We do both residential and commercial. And I started for my parents, but now I convert the business into a social enterprise that we focus on providing employment and leadership opportunities to newcomers.
Wow.
So I think like, again, I got into that because of my parents, but through how my whole entrepreneurship journey with this specific business, it has taught me that you can have the best idea, the best business plan, but if your finances are not right, you can just only gonna get into a specific level. So finance, it's one of the most important things about the business, if it's not almost everything.
Yes. In terms of like advising someone to get involved, it would be just, as you said, pushing.
I think that number 1, it's have a clear idea of your idea, like
Yes.
like really like deep into that idea. From that idea, like of course there has to be a business plan. With a business plan will come, your why,
Yes.
your demographic, your target, your marketing cost, and all those things. But I think like the main thing is, why are you doing it? And I think like money shouldn't be the motto.
Yes.
I don't do like, of course it's great because you are able to obtain different things with money, but I think like having a story behind any brand, any business, that's what makes it powerful, because you don't do anything just making money. It's really like the story.
And what would you say yours is, your story?
I think my story, and I think like it's coming together, is really making that impact to where I come from, that is that immigrant
Yes.
sector, and to inspire others, especially people, even if they are not here in Canada, but they're listening to us from
Yes.
Venezuela or in the States or anywhere in the world, that, don't be afraid of what are the opportunities out there that are in the world.
That's it.
So I think that it's really inspiring, that immigration, because like the immigrants are providing the world to be one. You know, now there's less racism, there's less judgment because of immigration. So I think like I'm very passionate about, and I think like that's my story.
Well said. I love that. Yes. And now get into some fun personal care routines and that sort of thing. You know, you work so hard, you are successful in your sector. What are some personal care routines that you do throughout the day that really keep you hustling and keep you at it?
One thing that has also boosted myself up on those like sad days, it's, you know, we're women and there's nothing wrong even if there's quarantine. I always like get myself ready. Like if I stay at home, I'm ready to rock. Yes. Because that will boost my mood up. So I think it's getting to know yourself and what makes you feel great, you know, listening to music. That's another part. Like brush your teeth, listen to your favorite music, and dance it out. If you like to sing, but yes, doing the things that you really love and allocate time for that is very healthy. And I cannot stress that enough if you're an entrepreneur. The other part is I've been working with different multiple skincare brands. Oh. So I think like promoting them have pushed me to adapt to my routine. Wow. So one of the morning routines, besides water with lemon before eating anything, yes, and then do some meditation. Meditation for me is I have the 5-minute journal. I love it. That makes your life easy when you don't know what to do. Like just buy the 5-minute journal. It's amazing to start the day. Some piano music, very very light. So like your head just gets relaxed and not looking to the phone, not looking to the emails. Another part, I allocate my time that I will start anything related to work or my career at 9 a.m. Before then, I rather just work on me. Yes. You know, like whether it's getting ready, going for a jog. Yes. My days depends. It varies. So my specific routine is definitely the 5-minute journal. Beautiful. The hot water with lemon. With the lemon. It relaxes you so much, and you know, just take it easy at least for an hour or 2 hours before you really start the day.
I love that. I'm going to keep getting onto that lemon and water routine.
Yeah.
I love it. Now for some fun relationships and advice with the lovely Vanessa. What would you say are some healthy signs, healthy things really to have within a relationship that really matter to you? Thank you to Vasanti Cosmetics for sponsoring this episode. Head over to vasanticosmetics.ca for luxury, high-performance cosmetics and skincare. Make sure to use promo code DINA10 for 10% off all online products. Thanks again for joining in. Make sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment below. Make sure to also find us on Instagram @DetoxWithDina and my personal page @DinaTheodora. Stay tuned and catch you next time.